A lot of familiar faces in this Tech team from 2
Yeah.
years ago.
It is, just reviewing some of, some of the notes a little bit. A lot of the names are like, oh yeah. Plus, in the recruiting process, most of the kids are from Virginia, so obviously we've seen them in the recruiting trail. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of the same players that came to Morgantown a couple of years ago.
Seems like the stat that really jumped out to me, they've given up 18 goals in 23 games when you're in a league with Florida State, North Carolina,
Yeah.
Duke. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and they've
Defending.
only not scored in 2 games too, so that's pretty impressive on the flip side. So very much. I mean, they're a team that doesn't give many goals up, but also scores a lot of goals, or at least puts something on the board. So it's going to be tough to score on them. And they have a very experienced goalkeeper. She is played at the international level and is a senior, and obviously, we just have to make sure that we're very focused in front of the net.
Have teams you've seen, have people gotten good shots off on them, or have they prevented that?
I mean, the ACC, obviously there's some very, very clever players that have done some great things, against Virginia Tech and have had some chances. So it's not as if they're not getting dangerous. It's just finishing those opportunities. So, yeah.
Yes, on the flip side, not a ton of goals they've scored, but then you look at they somehow put 4 in on Steve Swanson's Cavaliers, which is
Tough to
pretty
do.
incredible.
It's
The
just
only
tough
team to beat them.
Yeah,
this year.
obviously they have the capabilities of beating, the number 1 team in the country. So that says a lot about Virginia Tech, and to put 4 on Virginia says a lot about them. So it's a very dangerous team. There's no question about it. And as we know that if they have the capabilities to do that to Virginia, they're lethal. They're lethal.
No, they have the Reeves girl, I remember from 2 years ago. She's back. She does a lot of their offense.
She is. She's definitely a player to keep in mind for sure, especially with her speed and her strength. There's I think she could give our football team a run for their money in the 40. She's that quick. But they have Ashley Myers, who's a national team player, and a couple other dynamic kids that have scored some great goals for them. So it's not just one. It's everywhere, and that's why they're a number 1 seed.
There was so many freshmen, sophomores weren't a part of that game 2 years ago. Is it still something that you bring up this week?
Well, absolutely, and I can kind of speak to the Canadians a little bit. Ashley and Kadisha, this player played against BREMAC, and she was able to do this, and you can understand the talent that Reeves has, or obviously Francis and Keene can speak to a lot of different players too. So it's nice having the seniors to kind of back what I'm saying. But yeah, the sophomores and freshmen don't really have any idea.